Hello and welcome to another edition of the Get Growing Weekly Work Session with GetOiling. I'm Coach Ashley, joined today by founder of GetOiling, Greg Kilwine. Hey, Greg.
Hey, everybody. Really glad you're here today.
We also have Colin here from our team. What's up, Colin? Good to see you.
How you doing, everyone?
We're thrilled to have you here today because we are going to be talking about a topic that has been brought up quite a few times over, I would say, the last 6 months. I've seen a lot more of it than I have in quite a while. Today, we're going to be talking about how to use Pinterest to grow your young living business with GetOiling. So we've got a lot to get into today. We're going to set up a brand new Pinterest business account and walk through how to connect it to your GetOiling. Got a lot to get into. So I have some slides. We have a checklist for you. By the way, if you're on our list, you have already received that. We do send that out prior to our calls where they are applicable. So make sure that you're signed up to receive notifications about our live calls that we have every week. It is free to you, whether you are a GetOiling community member or you're someone who is in the Team YL community who's maybe curious about GetOiling. We welcome you here. We're live every Thursday at noon US Eastern Time. So head over into the chat and let us know where you're coming in from. It's always cool to see where in the world our community is. And while you're doing that, we're going to go ahead and hop out of video and get into these slides that I've prepared for you. So we do again look forward to chatting with you here today and getting into this super cool content. So today, as promised, we are going to be talking about getting started with Pinterest and doing so with your GetOiling account. So specifically using Pinterest for business using your GetOiling website. So today we're going to talk about how Pinterest works for brand partners. We're going to talk about what you'll need to get started with Pinterest and a pinning strategy for you. So I'll actually go over what it is that you'll be doing on a regular basis to get the results that you want from Pinterest. And then as always, we have live help and Q&A. If you are here in need of help or support, please do add your questions to the Q&A here on Zoom. We do have two wildly capable people here while I'm here teaching and chatting who are able to answer all of those questions. If you'd like to join us in a call like this one, you can go to getoiling.com/weekly work session. If you have signed up for this already, you should check your inbox. You have a download today, which is a PDF checklist that we'll be using and that you'll be able to use on an ongoing basis. I will make sure that is in the description below for the recording on YouTube as well. If you'd like to work together on a call like this, we do dedicate the second half of our calls to these website reviews or just general reviews. So you can go to getoiling.com/website review if you would like to review your strategy together. If you would like to work on just what getting started for you looks like together, whatever that is, we can actually talk through and even work together through those things 100% free right here on a call like this one. So make sure you go over here and snatch up a time on an upcoming Thursday to take advantage of this. Now, if you would like to skip all that and just have somebody do some of this work for you, maybe setting up your website, creating your member area, building a funnel for you, creating automations, etc., you can go to getoiling.com/concierge to learn more about our team and set up a call where you can get a quote. All right, now let me know in the chat, say me if you use Pinterest, and maybe also let me know, do you use Pinterest personally? Do you use it as a business, right? What does that look like for you? Do you use it just sort of casually? Maybe you're using it to sort of plan out what your next redecorating caper might look like. Or are you someone who is maybe using Pinterest or working on using Pinterest to attract leads? So let's talk a little bit first, because it looks like a lot of us aren't actually using Pinterest for business. Let's talk a little bit about how Pinterest works for you as a brand partner. Now, essentially how this works is in Pinterest, you are pinning content to boards. And those boards are boards ideally that are going to be topic relevant to your ideal customers or clients, right? So Pinterest is essentially just a bunch of virtual cork boards right? If you've had a bulletin board, a cork board in a room, a classroom, what have you, where you can take with a thumbtack and pin up different ideas or flyers or pictures, inspiration, etc., right? That's kind of the gist of what Pinterest is it's a place for you to collect these things that inspire you or that inform you, entertain you, etc. And that's how people as individuals use Pinterest. And so you as a brand partner have the opportunity to be some of that content, to be the creator of, the originator of some of that content that other people are pinning, thus creating infinitely more free viral exposure to you and what you do. So what you're going to be doing as a brand partner promoting your business using Pinterest is you're going to be pinning content to these boards. And that content is going to be something that's relevant to your ideal person. So maybe your ideal person is just getting her feet wet with what it means to live low waste or sustainable or green. And so you probably write blog posts talking about DIY recipes and low waste living and things like that, right? So you pin that content to Pinterest, and then people get to discover it, which is really cool. Now, you're going to be pinning a mix of your content and other people's content. You don't have to be the originator of everything. And then your pins that you have pinned, they are suggested to other Pinterest users who have those interests, right? So if you're creating boards around sustainable green living, then your blog where you have the recipe for the one cleaner that you use all over your house, right? That pin on a board can then be shown to thousands and thousands and thousands of people who could be interested in it, click on it, and become your leads, right? So your pins can also be shown in search engine results. So if someone goes to a search engine such as Google, they can sometimes see pins from Pinterest as primary content that is displayed from a search engine. And then anyone who is interested in these things that you've pinned, when they click through on those pins, they can go to your website. This is where it gets really powerful. This is where they can read your blog article, maybe sign up for a lead magnet that you're offering on that blog article or on your website. They can follow you on social. You have this ability to leverage 100% free this platform where people are hanging out looking for inspiration. And when they find yours, they can decide that they actually want to follow you. And that means another person who could potentially be shared, Young Living could be shared with, right? So these are people who ultimately become your leads, right? And it's just such a cool thing. We see this happen actually quite often with folks who use GetOiling, who are using Pinterest. I don't know if Reverend Paula is here, but she actually started pinning a few years ago. Yep, she's here. I'll bring you out to chat in a little bit if you're open to it. Let me know. Paula started pinning a couple years ago, and her pins were generating significant, not just traffic, so people coming and looking at her website, but people signing up to get something for free from her. Amazing. Sometimes 5, 6 a day. New people showing up. Who is this person? I want this thing that she's offering. How amazing would it be if you could get results like that, right? So pinning is a really great way to drive traffic, meaning eyeballs. So traffic would normally be wheels passing wheels on a car passing a billboard, or foot traffic passing a storefront. In the digital world, these are eyeballs passing by your content. So a few things I want you to keep in mind with Pinterest is number one, this is a long game. This is not something you're going to start doing tomorrow, do it a few times, and then see results. It's something that you want to be consistent with, and it will pay big time, over time, consistently if you do it well and you keep it up. It can take up to 6 months to see significant results. That's not to say that you can't see some results sooner, but it is, again, something that you see changing over time, right? If you start a workout plan, you're not going to see a dramatic visual shift in your physical body right away. It can take some time, but it's worth it, right? This is similar. And so if you are blogging, which I very much hope that you are, if you're blogging with your GetOiling blog, you'll be able to add this to your strategy pretty simply. And this will absolutely help you get more traffic to your blog posts. So here's what you'll need to get started. First, you need a Pinterest business account. Then you're going to want to claim your website on Pinterest. That means you're going to want to have a custom domain on your GetOiling account. You'll then want to enable rich pins so that you and others can pin from your GetOiling site. Essentially, what this means is if you've ever been to somebody's website before and you saw a picture, and when you hovered over it, there was a little widget that popped up where you could pin it to Pinterest. That's what this is. And then, of course, you'll need some blog content. It doesn't have to be recent blog content. This works beautifully for content that's older that you want to drive some eyeballs to as well. And then ideally, you'll also have your funnel in place where you can put your landing page with your call to action in your blogs so that if someone reads your blog post and they like what you have to say, they have an opportunity to put in their name and their email, get something for free from you, and now they are a lead in your system. All right. So the reason why we want to have a blog and a funnel is because Pinterest is like a search engine. It needs a lot of content to feed its users, and your content, that's your blog post, right? We want to get visibility to you from the search engine. So you've got your content on blog posts. You will pin your blog and its content, right? And then ideally, your blog posts, all of them should have some kind of a free offer where people can get something in exchange for their contact information, right? That's your funnel. All right, now our Pinterest strategy. It's pretty straightforward. Remember, you do have a checklist to work off of, and you can use it on an ongoing basis. First, when you create your Pinterest for Business account, you're going to create a few boards that are focused on keywords that your ideal customer might resonate with. Pretty please, in all caps, do not create Young Living boards on your Pinterest for Business account. Do not create boards that are about Young Living products on your Pinterest business account. What you want to be focusing on here are topics that are already currently, presently important to your ideal person that you want to share Young Living with. That means that having a Young Living board won't really mean anything to them, right? That's not going to be attractive to them. The only people that's going to be attractive to are fellow brand partners. Unless you have something to sell to your fellow brand partners, doesn't make a lot of sense to do that, right? So you want to create boards that are focused on topics that matter. So maybe that is gentle parenting. Maybe that is unschooling. Maybe that is green living or low waste or low tox or whatever your passions might be. Create a couple. Less is more, quality over quantity. Can you have a lot? Yes, but they better be good, right? Because you want people to show up and see that, oh, this is great. This person has so many awesome resources. I want to dig into more of what they have, right? All right, so you've got those boards. You're going to pin new, fresh content to them at least once a day and up to or exceeding, if you really want to, 5 times a day. You don't really have to go beyond that. More is not always more necessarily, but if you are someone who is really diving into this strategy, you could go nuts with it. Just make sure you're consistent. Consistency really is what you're looking for here. And ideally, what you are pinning to these boards are pins that link to your content, i.e., your blog posts. So you want to make sure that you are, as we've trained in other live work sessions and in courses on our platform, release a blog post once a week or more. Again, talking about a subject matter that is important to your ideal person. You're going to create 3 to 4 pins for your boards for every post that you release. And you're going to pin those at intervals. So when I say you're going to blog once a week, and you're going to pin 1 to 5 times a day, you can pin, if you're going to be thinking about your pins for the entire week, a vast majority of those pins can be about that one blog post. You just got to make sure that you are switching up the images and switching up the copy. Pinterest's algorithms, and they do have algorithms just like the search engines do, just like the social networks do. The Pinterest algorithms favor fresh content. And what they see as fresh content are new pins, so not repins, but new pins that have been created that have an image that hasn't been used before in exactly that same way, and copy that is not identical to the pin before it. So the words you use. So this really can look like I'm creating a blog post and I'm creating 4 pins for my blog post plus 1 pin that I can find that is of related content, maybe something that is viral, that's getting really great traffic already. You're kind of training the algorithm to see you and associate you and your content with this other brand whose content is currently vastly more popular than yours, right? We're wanting them to recommend those the readers or the followers of that one to yours, right? So that's essentially what your strategy looks like. Blog once a week and then release those pins at intervals. All right, now I have a checklist for you, and we're going to go through this together from start to finish. So make sure that you grab that. Greg or Colin, if you could pretty please pop that into the chat if you haven't already. And again, I'll make sure this is in the description below this video on YouTube. But we're going to be going through this checklist, and we're actually going to start. I don't have a Pinterest account that I use. And so I created one today, and we are going to actually set it up end to end. Now, Jolene asks, I'm wondering if we've converted our personal Pinterest to our business one, are our personal boards still visible to the masses? That's a great question. And unfortunately, I am not a Pinterest guru. So what I would maybe do is log out of your Pinterest account and then go to your public Pinterest account for your business and see, if that's something that is visible, or maybe share a link to your Pinterest generally to someone that you're connected to and see if they could see it. All right, so let's go and switch my share here. Okay, I am logged in as Jane, and that is who we are doing this for today. We have our checklist here. The first thing that you're going to want to make sure that you do is set up a custom domain for your GetOiling account. If you have not done so already, don't do anything else that I'm talking with you about today, aside from maybe creating your business account until you've gotten this done. This is really important that you have a custom domain, and this is a support article where we actually walk you through what it entails. If you don't have one yet, then my recommendation is just to shoot an email to our awesome team and they can help you get that set up. So set up a custom domain. So it is yourname.com, your business name.com, etc. And then we're going to create a Pinterest business account. Now, if it were me starting from scratch, and let me just open this up here. Here we go. Oh, this is actually an article on how to get a business account in Pinterest. So this actually kind of walks through what it looks like if you want to create a linked business account or you want to start from scratch. I am starting from scratch. So let's go to Pinterest. And let me make sure that I am logged in as the right person. And I think I was, but let's just log back in to make sure we're correct here. All right, so I'm logged in. Great. Now, right over here in this little drop-down menu, I'm going to convert this to business. And you can see that it actually has quite a lot of different features that are available here. Now, you could follow the steps in their article. Again, that's linked right here. That's Pinterest's own help article, where you can kind of see what it looks like if you want to retain your personal Pinterest account, if that's something that you already use. If you want it to be something where you only have one login and you can toggle back and forth between personal and business, you could certainly do that. But for the sake of demonstration here today, I'm just going to upgrade an account that I just made that I have nothing on, I'm not using personally, and I'm going to change that over to business. So here I am going to call myself a content creator, okay? And that's going to be you as a blogger. You could potentially, depending on if something else made sense for you. So like right here, maybe you're a services provider. If you, teach yoga, if you are someone who offers services as a business, you could select this one. I'm going to choose content creator here. And this is going to be, what did we call Jane? Let me go to her website. I think she's like Holistic Mama. I'm just gonna call it that. Holistic Mama. We're US based. And this is going to be, and you should have your own custom domain. I'm doing this. I'm going to do this right now. I'll put this here so that you guys can see that connected. What are my business goals? I want to generate more leads. I want to drive traffic to my site. And I want to create content on Pinterest to grow an audience. That works. Primary focus of my brand is going to be, I think, health and fitness for this particular person. You can obviously choose what makes the most sense for you. All right, so I am going to start by creating a pin. So I'm going to go next. And this is where we can actually upload an image and get started with creating a pin. Now, what are we going to pin? We're going to be pinning content from our blog, but before we get too far ahead of ourselves, let's make sure that we have claimed our website on Pinterest and that we have rich pins allowed on our GetOiling site. All right, so let's follow, oops, not what I meant to do. All right, let's command and click. Here we go, claim our website on Pinterest. All right, so claiming our website, we're going to go to settings and we're going to click claim from the left side navigation, under claim your website. All right, so let's go into Pinterest and follow these steps. Now, because I already put in, let me see. I did put in my website when I created the account. I don't know that that necessarily entails that I have claimed it though. So let's just make sure. Here we go. Websites. Here we go. Claimed accounts. And you could repeat this for your Instagram as well if you have one for your brand. So I'm going to go to claim. And this is where we're going to copy this HTML tag. Now let's go back over here to, and there's an article right here in GetOiling. So we're going to under claim your website, enter and claim, select add HTML tag, copy the tag. I just did that. And the next step, we're going to take the code that we copied and paste it into GetOiling. And that's going to be down here under this advanced options and customize my site. So let's go do that. So we're going to go to customize my site. We're going to scroll down to advanced options and you can paste that code right here. Let's go and back to, here we go. So I'm going to copy this, make sure that's all. Yeah, that is correct. So I've got that there. So I've done that step, that is pasted. And we should be good to go. So we could hit submit. I'm going to save this and GetOiling. And then I'm going to go back over to Pinterest and I'm going to hit continue. And then I'm going to go to my website and verify. Hey, Greg. I haven't done this
Yeah, I'm just
before.
looking at this.
It could be
The
because I don't
HTML.
have,
Oh,
go ahead.
The HTML tag is the one that works with the system.
Right. So this one here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. And that's under
And we put that
analytics.
right here.
Yep. Yeah, that looks right.
Yep.
Well, the error I was giving was not, something about not finding the or I wonder if you need well, it doesn't say the HTTPS on there. Maybe drop the www. I don't know.
Okay.
See if that makes any difference because it is a forwarded site. Did that work?
Um,
Thought I saw an error, but then it closed.
yeah. I kind of think that this might be because I don't have the custom domain set up.
Can you try putting the HTTPS thing in front and see if that makes any
Yeah.
difference? I mean, long shot, but
Huh.
hmm, that is interesting. Yeah, it shouldn't.
Oh, I just put a slash on the end. That's all I did. Okay, I put a forward slash on the end
Huh,
of this
the
and
more
it
you
did it.
know.
All right. Yeah.
Awesome.
Whatever. Okay. So to track how well ads drive conversion events on your claim site, install the Pinterest tag. Cool. I don't want to go into the ads manager right now. That is certainly something that's more advanced for a later date. But okay, so we have claimed the website. Okay. And yeah, you can put multiple HTML codes in the website analytics field. So if you have Google Analytics and other things like that, then and by the way, if this isn't showing up for you, then you probably have a basic plan. If you would like to add on a feature like this, you could get our branding package, and it does talk about that right here with the branding package add-on. Now, the next thing that we want to be able to do is add rich pins. This is the Save It button. So then now what we need to do is add this script to our site. So I'm going to copy this script. Let's see. Insert the provided snippet to individual blog post articles or custom pages. Or if you prefer this to be applied globally to all web pages, then you can add it to the website analytics section. And so here's what you would do. If you want different pages on your website to have images that are pinnable, not just on your blog post, then you could put this in the same space here, just like that. I just pasted it. I'll hit enter here, even though the code doesn't really care about that, but you can see that I've pasted that here. But what this means is that any of the images that I place on my website are going to have that code embedded. So what I would rather do personally, if it were me, is I would save this in a maybe like a text expander, or I would use like a blog post template with a saved reply that maybe includes that in it, or otherwise just have it available so that when we go and we create a blog post, we can enable the rich pins. So if you want to make your life super easy, go ahead and just paste it in here. But if you want to only have pinnable stuff in your blog, then you would do differently. And I'll show you what that looks like here in just a bit. Don't want to get too far ahead of ourselves. All right, so we've got that one done. Then you need a Canva account. So let's go to Canva. Already have one. All right, cool, good to go. And then we need to publish at least one blog post on our GetOiling blog. And then we need to, for that blog post, format at least one of our blog images for pinning. All right, so let's go back to our blog. And I do have a couple of blog posts that are already published, so we'll just go ahead and use those. So maybe we'll go over here to this 7 benefits of practicing yoga. So here I have, this is actually pretty well formatted for Pinterest. Let's go view it. And look at that. You see that? You see that? That's what we did when we applied it all the way across the site. Now, if you wanted something like this to only work for you on, and when you click that, it's actually opening up a new tab. If you only want it to work on your blog, what you would want to do on your post is for each of those posts under advanced options, you're going to pop this into, and this is that, again, the same script from here. You just pop it in right here at the bottom where it says custom HTML tags. And that's going to enable that save button. But you see how it shows up on all of them, which is pretty cool. All right, so then we want to create some images for Pinterest for our blog post. So what we'll do here is we'll go into Canva and we're going to type in Pinterest, pin. Here we go. And it looks like there's quite a few different kinds, but it looks like this is the most popular one, this 1000 by 1500. So you can see that there are templates here, and you do want to make sure that these are in keeping with the aesthetic that you have going on your blog, right? So in this particular post, you can see that there is, there's a yoga pose. We've got our kind of signature blue color for this brand. And we're honestly not really using as many images as we could be using. Like we could be putting an image in for each of these 7 things, which, at this today would be overkill, but you could certainly do something like that. So let me actually type in benefits of yoga and see what comes up in these templates. There's so much here that's so good, right? So how about that? And here I'm going to type in 7. And then we can type in our website. And of course, you can swap that around, make it unique to your brand, etc. Right? Maybe I want to go ahead and add, because remember we needed to do quite a few of these, right? So let's go back over to our template here. We could pop in another, and we could use our, we could swap out our colors in the template, right? So you can see we've got 2 of these now. Uh, there's another one, right? And again, you're going to be spending a bit more time on this than I am, but I just wanted to show you how quick and easy it is for you to actually be able to create different images that work for your blog post. And you can start with what Canva already has created. And there's so much, and it's so good, right? Um, so the templates, basically what we did, Jolene, just to back up here, I went into Canva and I want to create something new. So I typed in right here, Pinterest, or under create a design, you type in Pinterest, and it's going to say Pinterest pin. So I think that the most popular kind is this one here. And then starting from there, I can already see that there are templates for this. And then I just simply typed in benefits of yoga. But maybe your blog post is about the benefits of intermittent fasting, because that's what your blog post is about. And then they'll, populate templates that either are in keeping with that or that you could modify, right? And my encouragement to you would be that when you're creating these images for your pins, that you're simultaneously, like you're not just thinking about these as pins, but you're actually going to be using some of these on the blog post itself, right? So you aren't necessarily doing duplicate work, but you are creating something that you're going to be using in multiple different places, right? So let me go back. Here's that original one. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4. Perfect. So we need to get 4 of these done. Beautiful. So what I'm going to do now is, and this is going to depend, actually, let's go back over here to this, right? So we've published a blog post and we've got our images in Canva for pinning, right? Now, I do want to step back for a second before we actually go and create pins, and I want to talk about creating boards on Pinterest, okay? So let's go back over to our profile. Let me go, I just want to go home. How do I do that? I don't know how to do this. All right. Just gonna go to pinterest.com. Let me go back here. All right, beautiful. So maybe now I want to create something. And as I told you, I am brand new to this. So let's go over here to a linked article on Pinterest that tells us how to create a board. All right, so if we want to create a board, all right, I want to create a board. Well, that's not really telling me anything at all, is it? That's okay. Tell you what, here's what we can do. We can keep this really simple. And I'm going to save this. And it is opening up let me start a new share for you so you can see what it's actually showing me. It's not letting me do it. Sorry, hang on a second. There we go. Okay. Well, now it's giving me an option to create a board. So this will be get moving, and this will be exercise for busy mom. All right, so I'll create that. And so that will be my board. And I'm gonna go see my pin. Wow, isn't that cool? Check that out. It's all there. All right, so now you can promote your pin. You can go and add more pins, right? There's a lot more that you can do there. And then, of course, what you do want to make sure that you're doing is that you are creating this content and pinning. And like for this, again, this one blog post, you can pin 4 or 5 different times, right? And you can even use Canva to do it. So if we go to, let's see, I want to, where's the content calendar? Those are templates and projects. What if I want to schedule something that I've created in Pinterest for publication later? I know it's something that I've done before. So if we go up here to share, Pinterest, you can actually connect your Pinterest and schedule from there. You can also, here we go, you click schedule, right? And then you do, of course, need to connect to, here we go, there's Pinterest. We'll connect our Pinterest. And I'm not going to do that right now because it's not the account that I want to be in. But essentially, you can follow what's here, right? And you can schedule your pins here. You can specify the link that you're sending them to, which of course is this one. It's the one to your blog post. Pretty cool. And then on and upward from there. So let me go back to our checklist that we've been working on here. All right, here we go. So we can create boards. We've pinned to our board, and then we can also repin other popular pins to your board. And essentially what that means is that you're finding other content that Pinterest sees as being popular, and you're putting it up right next to yours and showing Pinterest that the people who like that stuff would like yours too, right? So essentially what you would be doing here is going into Pinterest and finding things that are, here we go, here's our home feed. So let's just say perhaps this is one that's really popular. This actually has quite a lot of comments on it, which is great. And it is going off to, I believe it's going off to a website. So what you're going to do, if you want to repin someone else's content to your board, what you're going to do is you're going to click off here to the actual link, right? And then you're going to want to find the content that you want to pin if they see it in here, or you're going to want to utilize this URL and pin there and maybe go there from, from scheduling in your Canva. Another thing that I do mention here in our checklist is that you can use an aggregator like Tailwind. And this is a third-party software, but it is kind of like Hootsuite or other social media posting software. You can set up in Tailwind to basically put out all of the stuff that you created in Pinterest, all the links that you want, etc. The pros, like the people who are professional managers of Pinterest accounts and people who use Pinterest professionally, this is something that they use. Anyway, so basically what you're going to want to do is on a daily basis, you're going to pin once or 5 times to your different boards. And again, you could use a scheduler to save yourself time to plan this very far in advance. And then of course, for each of those blog posts you create, you're going to create 3 to 4 unique pins for each one because you want to have multiple opportunities for people to come across that post. When you are creating new pins for that same post, you want to make sure that you are modifying or making slightly different the image that you're using, and change the copy that you're using as well, so that each pin is a fresh pin. And then occasionally, like I just demonstrated, you can find a popular pin and repin that, quote unquote. So we're not actually repinning. That is something that you can do, but we're prioritizing fresh content. So just like in Facebook, a share, like if you shared someone else's content, that's good for the person who created the content, but it's not good for you in terms of the algorithm. What we're doing here is essentially taking their thing, sharing it, but doing so in a way that that the Pinterest algorithms are favorable to. Now, coming back down here, let's talk about a couple of best practices. I want you to remember, please, this is a long game. This is progress over perfection. We're like, none of us, including me just now, we're never going to get it 100% right 100% of the time, especially not in the beginning. So just get started, right? Just get started and start doing this and be consistent with it. And one thing that you should 100% please know, do not pin your homepage. If you pin the same URL a whole bajillion bunches of times, like that's something that Pinterest sees as spammy, right? And your homepage is something that it can't differentiate from your other blog posts. So it's one thing to have, you know, a unique image with unique copy where you are pinning the same blog post a few times, but your homepage, I guess, just doesn't work that way. I don't understand it perfectly, but I did a deep dive this week, and this is my understanding. And plus, it's just not strategically relevant to send someone to the homepage of your website. You want to send them to a place that's actually relevant to an interest that they have. Your homepage is really more of like the lobby of a building, whereas you want to be giving them a specific office address, right? So again, you're going to be publishing that blog post once a week or more. Make sure you always have a call to action in your blog post so that you're collecting leads when they do arrive to your website. Make your Pinterest board, your business Pinterest board, dedicated to your ideal client's interest, not to Young Living or Young Living products, pictures of Young Living products, etc. Those are not relevant to the people that you need to be attracting the attention of. You want to be leading conversations that matter to them right now so that they're willing to have the conversation later about Young Living. And then save yourself time. Make use of Write with AI to get your blog posts done. Those Canva templates that I showed you, they're built into the system. That'll save you a ton of time and save you a bunch of headaches. All right. So we did that. We did that in under an hour. We learned the basics of Pinterest, and you even saw me convert to a business Pinterest account, which I've never done before. So let's get into the Q&A. If you have been putting questions in the chat, I have not seen them. I know if they have been very tech focused, Greg has definitely answered them. But if there's anything that you have a question for that I have not answered yet, please put that in the Q&A so that I don't lose anything that you're asking. Okay, so yeah, Jolene, I think I already asked that one. When you were in Canva and templates, was there a specific template for Pinterest that you were in? If you go to create anything in Canva and you type what it's for, so you could have typed in Instagram and it would give you Instagram. You could type in, you know, a carousel ad, it'll give you a carousel ad. You can type in LinkedIn banner, blog banner, etc. It will give you the resolution size that you need. And if you look over, as soon as you open that up, it's going to have just a ton of templates that you can start with and make your own. All right, is there a way to get our site claimed without having to upgrade? So if you have a custom domain, then you really just need the branding add-on. It's like $5 a month. So, you know, that's if you want to keep your basic plan, you aren't ready maybe to go up to premium or pro with GetOiling, that's totally fine. The basic plan add-on is not just going to give you the ability to input this custom code on your site. It's also going to open up custom fonts, custom colors, and I think and code editing. So if you have that functionality, I mean, it's 100% worth $5 a month on a basic website. But that will allow you that function. All right, can you speak to the ideas regarding the flow of lead magnets and collecting information? So yeah, essentially, Jolene, what this would look like is you've got a board on Pinterest where you are collecting ideas, both your own and others that you're gathering from somewhere else, that you believe would be a really great resource for a particular person. So who's your ideal person? Is this a busy mom? So busy mom. Busy mom wants ways to have 30-minute meals done in the evenings. So then maybe you create a board on Pinterest that is 30-minute meals, right? And so you have all of these recipes from your blog that you're pinning there. Maybe you've pinned a few recipes from other popular bloggers, just again to train the Pinterest algorithm to see you as being someone who is like them, right? And basically anybody who is speaking to your audience, pin their stuff on your boards from time to time to train the audience that you're the same as them and that those leads should be coming to you too, right? So your person is at this 30-minute meals board and she's looking for a Whole Foods I don't know, plant-based spaghetti recipe or something like that. And she sees your pin, she loves it. She thinks it's a great idea. And so she clicks it, she goes over to read it. She's scrolling down your blog and she sees that, oh, by the way, you actually use essential oils in your recipe. It saves you time and money. And you actually have a mini handbook on using essential oils in your food preparations, and that's your PDF, that's your download. So that's basically in your healthy spaghetti recipe, you have a link that goes to a landing page that's like, get my guide to using dietary essential oils, right? Are you following there? So Pinterest board 30-minute meals. She's scrolling because she doesn't know what to make this week and it's Sunday and she's about to go grocery shopping. She sees your spaghetti recipe on Pinterest. She clicks it. She thinks that that's a cool idea for this week. She reads it. She sees that you're offering and she's intrigued because you put this oregano. What is vitality oil? This is interesting. But she's busy. She's not ready to dive down a Young Living rabbit hole right now, but she does want to try the recipe. So she's pinning the recipe to her board so that she can make this later and that her friends can see it, maybe try it too. And when she or her friends now, or anyone else who sees her board, when they go and read that recipe, they can see that there is this intriguing ingredient. And then you say, hey, by the way, I've got a guide on using these safely, effectively. Come get it. That's when they become your lead, right? And they could, in the meantime, opt to follow you on Pinterest. That's good. That's moving them in the direction of becoming someone who is a subscriber, someone who's a lead, right? That's kind of the flow of what we are looking for. And so once they've opted in to get that PDF download mini guidebook about how to use dietary essential oils, they're maybe then receiving an email campaign that's stripping out and talking about some of the other ways that you can use oils and some of the other ways that you can save time and take care of your kids, etc. Right? On repins, do we make a new graphic and then put their link in the blog to their blog in that? You could. I don't know that it's super consequential either way. Ideally, you want to be going to a page where, and there are like browser extensions that make it easier for you to pin. I would highly recommend, if you're going to be getting into this strategy, that you get a pin, like a Pinterest related browser extension that'll make it easier for you to snap a picture from someone's website like that and then get it over to Pinterest. I don't think that you necessarily should need to like create a brand new image for someone else's content that you're posting. Okay, could you give an example of some titles to use for each of the 5 Pinterest Canva graphics that correspond to one blog post? So that actually would be a better question to ask AI, honestly. So basically go to AI and say, I wrote a blog post about this. Here is the title. I'm going to be creating, 4 different pins about this blog post on Pinterest. Give me 7 ideas. And then you pick your favorite 4. So I would actually go to write with AI for that if it were me. What if I use the same landing page and landing page link at the end of each of my blog posts? Do you think it's necessary so the algorithms on Pinterest are not really, they're not going to go and check like where you're linking off to. So it's understood that if you are a content creator, a part of your prerogative as a content creator is to capture leads. So that means that you're going to have some kind of a link on that blog post page that goes somewhere. They don't care where you're linking to from the blog post. What matters is that what you're pinning to Pinterest, meaning the image and the copy, the text that goes with it, is unique each time. That's what they're looking for, is freshness, right? So that the content you're putting on Pinterest is fresh. The website, the blog post itself can be from 5 years ago. That doesn't matter. What matters is that the image you're using and the text you're using is fresh. Okay, let's see. If I only have 2 boards on my Pinterest account titled self-care and spa day at home, can you think of a ratio of original and repinned posts to put under those boards? In the beginning, Cheryl, it's not super consequential what the ratio is. It's the freshness. Pinterest wants fresh. They want stuff that is new to Pinterest, just like Facebook or Instagram is going to prioritize showing you something that was posted 10 minutes ago versus something from 10 years ago. So really, it's just a matter of just getting started and staying consistent. And in the beginning, it does serve you to have more of other people's content just to fill things out a little bit more. So maybe if your ratio week to week in the first month or two is your maybe 50-50 with your own and someone else's, that's fine. Or it could be an even higher ratio of someone else's, but you want to start factoring in sooner rather than later more of your own content there. Okay, do we also have to change the description of the pin for each one? So if you're pinning straight from the site like I did, which is not my recommendation, I would recommend that you actually use a post creator. So use the one that's in Pinterest to create a post from scratch where you upload an image, you use your own copy, or you use a browser extension to do this, or you use Canva or Tailwind or something like that. That actually allows you to be specific about the image that's being used and to be specific about the copy that's being used. So in that case, when you are creating a new pin, right, you're not using that quick auto pin that, because essentially you want other people to do that, right? Like you want, like what I showed you how to do. Oh, you can hover over and pin that image on my blog. I want you to do that as a reader of my blog and as somebody who wants to get you and your friends' eyeballs onto my content, right? But you as a content creator, you want to originate your content slightly differently. So use a specific pin creating tool, such as one that's built into Pinterest, or again, like Tailwind or Canva to create those. And then you'll be able to really dial in specifically the description as well as the image. Let's see. When you mean fresh, do you mean a fresh pin with a different Canva graphic for each Pinterest pin and not repeat the same graphic? So the interesting thing about this is that you technically can use like the same graphic. You just kind of have to use it differently, right? So you could maybe like take, if the bulk of the graphic is, I don't know, like a tree scene or something like that, that can be the primary one. And then you could just kind of shift that up and then put a block of text underneath it. And that's a new image. So it doesn't have to be 100% from scratch new. It just has to be different, right? It can't be the same. Like if you looked at these two images, 1000 by 1500 pixels side by side, and they're identical, that's the problem, right? That's not fresh to Pinterest. What's fresh to Pinterest is maybe we're using the exact same image that's in this graphic, but we've got some text overlay and maybe the trees are shifted up or down, right? You don't have to go from scratch where that's concerned. Can we change links on our blogs after it is published? Yeah, you can edit and republish your blog posts whenever you want to. Absolutely. Okay. Hey, Paula, would you be open to coming out and saying hello for a minute and let people know how Pinterest has been working for you? I would love that so much. Thank you for being willing to do this. Hey, Paula.
Hi.
Hey, so a few years ago, you shared with us that you started using Pinterest to share your clergy stalls. So yeah, could you just maybe kind of tell everybody a little bit about how you went about doing that or how that's working for you? Really, it's up to you, however much you want to share.
Yeah, it was actually a clergy stole pattern that I shared. I wrote a blog maybe almost 3 years ago, and I can show you the blog post if you want. And it's connected to a landing page. And hey, I didn't know what I was doing, but it went viral. And so it's gone viral now in it's gone viral now in over.
Oh,
I
are you there?
Hello, can you hear me?
Oh, there we go. I made you panelist. I didn't expect it to interrupt you. I'm so sorry
Oh,
about
okay.
that.
All right. Okay, let's see. Let me start my video then. Can I start my video?
Yeah.
Oh, there I am. Okay, so what I did is I made a blog post for a free clergy stole pattern, and I put it on Pinterest, and it went viral. And I have now had over 3,000 people grab that pattern. I've revamped my landing page to ask them questions of what country they're in, and ask if they want to leave their phone number, and I'll call them back. So the ones that leave their phone number, I'll call them back and give them sewing tips and stuff for this clergy stole. And then I have to blend it in with my aroma freedom practice. And so I have a special friend invitation that I send out to each of them after I've talked to them on the phone and given them the free pattern and everything, gotten to know them a little bit. And so I have a different save reply for the 15 different countries that I send to them, inviting them to plug into a Zoom, an online aroma freedom session with me. So that's how I connect them in to the oils after I give them the free pattern. But yeah, I can show you the blog post if you want to see it.
Absolutely, please.
Okay, let's see here. Let's see if I can. Okay. All right, so this is my blog post, Create an Elegant Clergy Stole. And I didn't connect this into that Pinterest pin that you were showing us today. That's interesting. I've learned quite a bit from you today. That's why I'm on here. And so here's my blog post. And I give them information about the Christian year and the different colors that they need to make their clergy stoles. And I show them a sample of the clergy stole. And I give them a video of actually making the clergy.
Wow.
And then down here, I have the instructions of how to make their clergy stole. And then it says, receive my free rounded clergy stole pattern. And when they click there, can you see this landing page?
Yes.
Okay, then it brings up the landing page. And when they click here, I have all these little questions I ask them. I tell them who I am. I want to know, ask them if they want to stay in the loop, and check any that apply to you. So I'll know if they're a pastor or if they're laity and who they're making it for. And then here's where they're located. So then I know which friend, which save reply to send to them, depending on the country that they're in. So that's
Wow.
what it's evolved into. It's been a real learning curve for me.
But despite the learning curve part of it, you've gotten 3,000 leads.
I know, it's over 3,000 leads. It just amazes me. Now, some of them have kind of dropped off because I didn't know what I was doing at first, but now they're actually answering my calls, and they're talking back, and there's some of them have signed up for the Aroma Freedom session. So I'm so excited that I finally have got a system in place now where, you know, I can give them the free clergy stole pattern and then also serve them with the Aroma Freedom sessions.
Wow, 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 wow. Oh, thank you so much for sharing that, Paula. I really appreciate it. I'm so excited to hear about your continued success with this.
Thank you for inviting me.
Wow. Wow. Okay. So you guys see what's possible here. Wow. It's amazing. And by the way, if you guys don't know, if you go over to our GetOiling website, if you saw that some pretty things on Paula's website, if you go to the getoiling.com website, which I will go right now and show you, and you go to content, if you would like to learn from Paula, go right here to content. You go right down here on our content page, right here, beautiful pages. Paula has some incredible content in here. She also has an Oils of Ancient Scripture workshop. Paula has done some not only beautiful, but really cool and really smart, like good utilization of our system and its features. And some really great content that you can purchase from her and you can learn from her. And it's all really, really good. So big thanks again to Paula for being willing to come out and share that success with us. So who is going to get started with Pinterest this week? Let's see, Karen said, can I get to that page from my dashboard once logged in? So that's on the GetOiling homepage, actually. So just getoiling.com, and then you just look up at the top. It says content, and that's where you can actually see our content partners as well as folks who've created courses and things like that. Awesome. Thank you guys so much for being here. We are really looking forward to seeing your results with this. If there is something you would like to learn more about, I hope that you will let us know, and maybe we'll create a training like this just for you. We'll be back here same time next week. Till then, have a great week, everybody. Take care.